Well, good morning, everyone. Happy day after Christmas. Hope everyone is doing well. So, I realized that this is usually the slot for Think and Grow Rich. And I had the outro set up for Monday for Mind Over Matter Mondays. Okay, so this is the day after Christmas look. I'm Leslie Flowers, and I'm super excited to do this with you. I did this a long time ago, and I have found that this particular lesson, which is all about recognizing our level of awareness in relation to other people, whether it's in business or home or education or family, whatever it is. So today we're going to take a look at um, the 7 levels of conscious awareness where you are in business and how to relate to other people around you. So first, let me sing you in with an after Christmas, or actually a Christmas song. I'm very excited about today. I'm a little bit discombobulated. Hi, Lauren. Hi, John. So glad you're here. As I said, it's been a wild week, certainly for me, for you. Lots of good things going on, lots of changes in the world that appear to be good. Things are happening. Always looking for the good, and you'll find it. So, allow me to sing you in. Let us know where you're calling in from and what the weather is today. Hey, Elizabeth, so glad you're here. So, sit back and enjoy this. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Spot nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase for kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Good morning, Omar. Good morning, Lauren, John, Elizabeth, Solomon, Linda, and Meryl. Thank you for all your wonderful birthday and Christmas wishes. And so I'm offering this simple phrase for kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. What a great day it is. I am so thrilled about today. And hello, everyone. And Lisa is here and Meryl is here. I'm so happy. We've got 45 minutes, and I'm going to introduce you to some very fun concepts. And I hope you like that song. Hope you've had a good week. If you always look for the goodness, you'll find it for sure. And some people are exhausted, some people are happy, some people not so much. Learning is the miracle grow of human beings. We're happiest when we learn. I'm Leslie Flowers, and I am your host at this spot every Friday. And as I said, I got a little confused today because it's so interesting. I was listening to a live program or reading something on LinkedIn where whoever it was, and remind me if you saw this, where the two events that I do on Monday and Friday, the communities are blended. Somehow, when I look back on who I've invited, but particularly who consistently says they will attend, it's pretty much the same people, absolutely new people. I send out invitations every week. You know, when you're ready, you'll show up. I'm okay with this. But now I got confused, so I ran the intro for Monday's show. But anyway, it's gorgeous. It was done by Aaron Gibson. It's for Mind Over Matter Monday, same time, 10 a.m. There will be a change next year. So, hi, Lauren. So you're out west, and John's in Chicago. Elizabeth is in Rhode Island. I can turn this on so you can see each other. There we go. Is that Charles Phillips? My goodness, I haven't seen you in a while, Charles. I just miss you. Omar is out in Arizona. Solomon, you're in Nigeria, sending peace and prayers to your country with some new things that are occurring there that may not please everyone, or it may. Linda Meyer, hi, calling in from Ontario. Oh, I bet it's cold up there. Lots of snow. Meryl, hi, Meryl, you're in northern New Jersey in Paramus, 4 to 8 inches. Wow. That's what you're expecting. I love that, but that's a lot of inches. I hope you have everything ready, Meryl. Lots of food and firewood. Kimberly Lechnick is here. Hi, Kimberly. So glad that you're here. This is the Think and Grow Rich slot, and next week we will begin on the 2nd of January, a new 12 weeks. It will be deeper insights and stories along with the principles of success. So if you've been before, you will love it, I'm sure, because it will deepen what your understanding is for the principles of success. And Lauren is here. That's right. I already said that. Thank you. John likes the song. Lisa is a registered dietitian, and thank you for, she's a Sagittarius sister. Thank you for always being here. Linda Meyer is here. Charles Phillips, yes. Good morning, Felipe Cofino. How are you? And there's Sajid Kumar calling in from Toronto. And let's see who else. All right. Lots of snow and hot chocolate, Linda says. So, okay. Since this is 45 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And what I'd like for you to do as I present this information to you is to send your insights and comments. Because when someone else watches this, they not only get this information, but they also hear what you have to say. And honestly, the questions that come out, right, during these and the insights are amazing. You're all amazing. And you've been here frequently, so I just know you're going to love this. This has made a big difference over 17 years. I have had a hybrid, I still have it, 12-week program, which includes the principles of success and universal laws and what I'm going to show you today, and everything I've learned about personal development, leadership, and management over, gosh, a 40-year career, but 25 years since I retired to focus on this work. Mind is the source of our results, no matter how you look at it. It sources our body, and it sources our brain. People have it wrong sometimes or are confused. Well, this will be fun for you. So let's get into this. And thank you for being here. And thank you. I sang that song because I wanted to thank you all for the birthday wishes and all the Merry Christmas wishes. There were so many, and I'm so grateful to all of you. Plus, Christmas yesterday, I passed 9,000 followers. Now, I never really worked on it too much this year. I stopped, connecting and following with everyone. It got tiring once I got to 8,000. So I've just watched it carefully grow, people that are drawn to me. And so I was delighted that it happened on Christmas Day. It's such an auspicious time. So we're going to look at the 7 levels of conscious awareness. And it's really about what you know, you know. All right. And as people come in, I will do my best to welcome you. I'm so grateful that you're all here. So let us begin. Let me see what I have first. Yeah, I'll show you this first. Okay, here's a touch about me. I haven't shown this in a long time, but this will give you an idea. I've got quite a history, but when you've lived as long as I have, and I just never really stop moving my feet. No matter how bad it is, I know there'll be a matching up, and I just look up. It took me years to realize this, that this is how the universe works. But then you don't stay in a low place very long because the universe is saying, hey, look up, here come people and opportunities. So I started my consulting in 2008, but personal development, gosh, since 96. That was my first transformational training, a weekend with landmark education. That's enough to blow anybody's mind. Because now we're looking at mind, not brain. See, mind is relatively new. And so you'll find a lot of people that know about neuro and brains and psychology. They don't know what I'm showing you. It's not taught in university yet. It will be. Now, there are some universities that bring it in, absolutely, but not many. So you have people that literally don't understand yet the distinction between brain and mind. And when they're ready, they'll see this. Okay, so here we go. These are the 7 levels of conscious awareness. I want to see if I can make myself a little bit smaller here. Yeah, I think that's better. And I hope you can see everything. Hello, Barbara. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome in. And we're just beginning a review of 7 levels of conscious awareness. Now, what I want you to do is determine an area. Today, we're looking at business. We have many areas of life: business, spirituality, education, health and wellness, family, finances, all sorts of areas of our life. And most of us know that we behave differently in those different areas because of whatever reason we have, right? Those are the masks that people talk about. And I can tell you now that I no longer am different, but it's taken a lifetime to be authentically me all the way across all platforms. Thank you, Sajid Kumar. He likes the portfolio. Thank you. Oh, yeah, there's more. That was an old one, but yeah, there's a lot. Anyway, it will happen for you if you just keep moving your feet, right? As Les Brown said in one of my trainings, as he was training me some 17 years ago. Yeah. He said, if you find yourself in hell, keep moving your feet. And Mary Morrissey says you can climb Mount Everest taking baby steps as long as you don't stop moving your feet. So I just love that. Oh, gosh, thank you so much, Sajid Kumar. So what I want you to do is first, I want you to think about yourself in business. This is what I'm recommending today. We're going to look at, I could even make this just to begin with. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you. There we go. Okay, so we're looking at this model And I'm going to explain how it works. Excuse me. This is what happens when we're growing in awareness. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is on the left-hand side, there's a vertical arrow. The lowest level of awareness is governed by fear, is emotional, is reactive. As you can see, is fight or flight, is reacting instead of responding. We've all been there. Know that we've all been there. And as you move up, you're very cognizant and empathetic to the people that are on the lower levels. And that's an insight. Once you get where you are on this ladder, primarily, you're not going to stay there, but in business, you can. If you're doing family, wherever you land, you can. The challenge becomes, you don't actually, it's not static. It fluctuates, but not here, not in business. Okay. It fluctuates in family a lot. Okay. Abel Hodge, thank you so much for being here. So on the bottom, it's you going from reactive and subjective to responsive and objective. Why? Because when you're reactive, you're not thinking. You're being governed by your subconscious mind and your basic fears in which you have perfect faith. Absolute faith. You've experienced those fears and those traumatic experiences. They do not leave you. What's more, we actually reaffirm them whenever we think again about the horrible experience. Some people get nauseous, but even if it happened 40 years ago. So you want to understand that when you're reacting emotionally, you are not thinking. It's a reaction as an animal would do. Where we're going with learning about how the mind works and how to outweigh, if you will, the emotional side when necessary, but not forever, you begin to move toward being more responsive and objective. And that's where you can be empathetic. And that's where you can help other people. So as we go through this, hey, Jackie, it's okay, Jackie, you can listen, honey. It's fine. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your absolutely amazing show on Christmas and on Monday night. And I'm excited to see that Aaron Gibson is here. And Aaron, you just have to laugh. I ran the Monday trailer today. Right. But I figured it's so beautiful. Who cares, right? Because this is an ad hoc. This is from the vault today. This is something that typically only my private clients or group clients get to see because this is the deeper work. But I think you can use this and get through the first quarter beautifully. So thank you for being here. And Lisa as well. Please get to know each other. So I want you to think of yourself first. Where are you in business as I described this? Kind of pinpoint where you think you are right now, and then put it in the comments where you think you are. Remember that you don't stay there static, but in business, you're the closest to being your authentic self on these levels. And we're all always growing in awareness of our infinite potential. Always. There's nothing static in this world. Certainly not for us based on universal law. We're either growing in conscious awareness or we're sitting back and we're not growing. We're slipping back, but it's okay. It's a moving forward and back and forward and back. That's how the laws work. So for every negative, there's a matching positive. Deep, deep, horrible things, look up. The universe will match it with something phenomenal. And by the way, for you Aries out there, if you listen to astrology, this coming year is the one when you will be recognized and generate the revenue for which you have worked so hard. We all have good things happening to us, but in particular, that sign needs to get ready for a big influx of celebration. All right, so there they are. The idea here is, where are you? We're going from reactive to responsive. Everybody starts here. When you first ask yourself, isn't there any more than this? That's where you are, right? Well, no, actually, you're up here. You wake up about here. So let's start. Here we go. Okay, here is number one. And I think I can make myself a little bigger here. We'll see if the clips will pick up a picture of me instead of the PowerPoint. This is the animal level, the base level. We all know it. It's when we cut people off at work. It's when in the past, it's fight or flight. It's reactive. It's emotional. It's based on one of your 6 basic fears: the fear of criticism and judgment, poverty, illness, old age, loss of love, and death. Everybody has them, except maybe people that are born into wealth and never heard, well, we have to wait until, and we can't afford it until. This is how your fears develop, through repetition over time, and they are the power in your mind. They will outweigh a dream and outwit a dream in a heartbeat. But this work allows you to put them in their place, because conscious awareness is your higher side. I believe that the universe lives in our conscious mind. That is God, and that is his whisper. Personally, that helps me. Okay. So, animal level, fight or flight. We're just beginning. All right. Remember when you were there? Have you, I mean, maybe not in business, maybe as you're driving and you holler at someone, like I would never do. Right? But that's the lowest level. Okay, ready? Here's the next one. The next one is mass consciousness or awareness. These are the people that follow the crowd. Remember doing that? Now, here's the interesting thing. The animal level is unaware of the levels above. So let me just go back for 1 minute here, if I can do this. Yeah. When you're here, you are unaware of the other 6 levels. You think this is it. When my granddaughter, the eldest one, was 16, she would argue that she was right. And we would be talking about something like a building in town. I knew differently, but she insisted that she was 100% correct. A brilliant child, but 16. And one day when I was thinking, well, how is she so sure she's right? Because I know I'm right, right? But how is she so sure? She's so sure at 16. And how that happened was, I realized in her frame of reference, in her 16 years, that's all the information she has. So she is. So there were never any arguments again, because I realized at her level, with everything she knows, she is right. So that was very helpful for me. But at that time, she didn't know about the other levels. No one does until you get to here, which is when you move from here to following the crowd. You're still not thinking, I want to wear this dress. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? You check in with 20 people and get their opinion on everything. Well, what you need to know is that there are as many people that'll agree with you as will not. So it's really not up to everybody else, right? Where are you looking? You might be looking for people that disagree, depending on your fears, or people that agree, much less common. So you want to have a group of a few people that are on the journey with you, that are looking for you to be great. They're looking for what's missing, the presence of which would make you greater, and you do the same for them. So that's one of the things you learn when you move out of mass consciousness. Now, mass is aware of animal, but does not know. Clueless. People that are on these levels right now, they are simply unaware of what's out there for them. And only they can decide when they get curious. You can't convince them. You can convince them and sell them things, and then they don't finish because they never were into it in the beginning. You were a marvelous salesperson, right? So, all right. So now let's move on to the next one. Where are we time-wise? Good. The next one is aspiration. This is the turning point for people now. And you're going to ask me, I'm going to tell you about the little clouds in a minute. Aspiration is when you say to yourself, there's got to be more. This can't be all of it. We all reach it. Even if it's on our deathbed, we will reach it. We will get this about ourselves, but it would be a shame to waste your entire life and wait until you're on your deathbed to go, oh, I get it now. So this learning, you bloom like a flower. And I'm doing everything I can do, this flower, to keep my petals supple rather than all dried out like an old, never mind. Okay, so this is the desire to be, do, or have more. Now, you're aware of animal. Think about this in business. When did you desire to go further? When was the turning point for you to say, okay, this just isn't working for me anymore. I'm bored. I've got more in me. Somebody may inspire you, whatever it is. So it's the desire, the deep desire. And look where you are now on the left-hand arrow. Look, you're almost, well, you're at least a third of the way up. Now you're beginning to think more. You're not reacting so much. When you say to yourself, I want more than this, there's got to be another way, you're thinking. That's conscious awareness. Hello, Mark Dumar and Jay Trivedi and Ashif. Hello, Ashif. So glad you're here. Oh, is Leah here too? Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Leah's in Aries. Yeah. Aries, watch out now. Get ready. Get your bank accounts ready. Look up and watch for people and opportunities to come into your space that you might have thought at one time was a coincidence. I'm here to tell you, it is not. You are cause in the matter of your life. Even though you may not understand yet exactly how it works, it works. There is proof, empirical and scientific evidence. And you will learn that one day too when you're ready. Remember that aspiration remembers what it's like here. Let me tell you about the clouds, the little clouds. I want you to imagine, visualize that all ideas in the universe are already here. In the ether. They're not locked in your mind and one wakes up. There's a process called the transmutation of radiant energy, which is simply the idea which is in thought energy form that you get, regardless of how. It is what you do with it, whether you will achieve it or not. If you don't do anything with it, it circulates back into the ether and someone else gets the idea. So the clouds represent, let's just say each cloud is 1,000 ideas, or it's relative. But you have very few ideas on the animal level because ideas come to you into your conscious mind. The first thing that typically happens with people is, I can't do that. I don't know how. I don't have the money, blah, blah, blah. All from fear of criticism, fear of poverty, fear of whatever, too old. So you're not going to listen and pay attention. You're going to butt that idea out. Well, it doesn't disappear. It circulates back into the universe and pops in someone else's mind. This is that phenomenon when you start something that you really loved and you gave it up, and then the guy across country 6 months later is doing the same thing. We think people are stealing. They're not. The universe is not going to blow up an idea just because you didn't decide that this was the time for you to do it. Sometimes those ideas do come back, though, I will tell you that. So as you become more responsive and objective, you are flooded with more ideas. And in fact, my goal setting workshop every year has you access these ideas, many more than you would under normal circumstances. You actually connect into the universe, and there's a flow and download of ideas because your fear has been put to sleep for a few minutes. Let's just say it that way. It's really fun. So remember that Now, when you get to aspiration, now you're thinking. So you're getting more ideas. So let's go on to the next one. Let me see if there are any questions in here. I'm looking. And absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I see you, but I don't hear you. Hi, Erin. Oh, let me see who else is here. I can take just a minute. Okay, we'll go back to this. Oh, Catherine Chadwick is here. Okay, good. So you're looking at where you are pretty much in business. Okay, remember that it's different in spirituality, it's different in education, it's different in health and wellness. You're a different person. You're probably on a different level of awareness moving up. The idea is to always be your authentic self, but you never really arrive because that isn't how it works. All right, so let's go on. Oh, I did forget to tell you that as you move up, you also have access to the other ideas on the lower levels. So the more objective you are and responsive to the world around you, and the more able you are to recognize your emotional reactions and set them aside, then you can actually select what it is you want to think. And it could be the context for speaking with people that are in the blue collar industry or speaking to a group of physicians. It's easy either way. All right, let's go to the next one. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. So you've got the idea, and I don't know where the clouds are. Forget it, but you get the idea. You step away from the crowd. In Covey's work, this is after the first 3 habits of highly effective people, right? You've now reached the individual where you've got the lower part knocked. Okay, you get it. But now you don't want to hear from the crowd anymore. You know your own heart, and you know your own values, and you know what you're going to do. Whatever you do, do not open up your ideas to a bunch of people. It's got to be specific people that you respect and that are looking for your greatness, and you're looking for theirs. But now look where you are. You're halfway. So most of your time now is focused on being aware and being objective and not criticizing and thinking, oh, they're thinking about it wrong. Here's where you start to realize that everybody's right from their point of view. Here's where you realize that perspective changes in every moment. Yet we argue for our point of view, yet it's always changing. So being objective allows you to listen to other people well and adopt the things that resonate with you and not the things that don't. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Are you enjoying this? I hope so. Okay. Now, the next one is discipline. You all have been to 4. I know you all. You're in 5 or 6 in general. All of you people that I know you well enough to know that you are not down on the lower levels, that you do listen, right? That you do own up to things, right? You do take responsibility. You are accountable. You do all of those things. Discipline is the ability to give yourself a command and follow it. I don't want to go to the gym today, but you know how good you'll feel afterwards, and you're disciplined. You're committed. You have a good reason why you're doing it. So for me, the discipline over the last 17, 18 years has been teaching Think and Grow Rich and the work that I'm sharing with you every week and more than one time a week. So now I'm kind of a machine. But what it does for me, it further builds faith in the things that I've seen work with over 500 client goals achieved over these years. I know what works and what doesn't, and there's science to back it up, but I've seen it, and I can tell you that I use it myself. So remember that at the discipline level, you understand, you've been on the animal level. This is why it's important in business. You have been to the place where somebody cut you off and you swore at them. They didn't hear you though. You have been to the place where you didn't feel secure enough in your life, whenever it was, to decide for yourself. Maybe it starts with asking our parents and our siblings, but as we get older, sometimes we get into the habit of asking everybody's opinion. Only a few, pick a few people that you know are looking for you to be great and are on this journey with you. And then let's see here. Yeah. Then so we're at, we went, you know them all from here. So remember these for yourself when you were in business, when you first started out, where you were. Did you have these feelings? Were you worried? Did you ask everybody else? But now you're here. Absolutely, you have the discipline. You give yourself an order. When you set an event, you show up. It's that simple. Now, the next one is experience. So not only have you done all of this and been disciplined, you're learning through experience. So that's where I am, right? I'm still learning, and now I'm experiencing the ability to articulate complex concepts in very simple forms so that people get it and they start their journey when they're so inspired and when they're ready and willing. People do not get ready or willing until from what you say necessarily. It can inspire them, absolutely. What makes people ready and willing is consistently studying the mind and how our mind works, and not being afraid, but being hungry to understand. Out of confusion comes clarity. For myself, when I'm confused, I don't take a step. Like this just happened to me. I had something to do a couple of weeks ago, and I knew what to do, but I confused myself. So what did I do? Nothing. I may have disappointed someone else who was expecting me to do this thing. Now, of course, I didn't do it intentionally, but I finally owned up to the fact that I put myself in a stage of confusion, which allowed me to reset everything for myself. So experiences, now you're using the stuff. You could be like Felipe in HR, right? He's in PRB in HR doing it, right? And Sajid Kumar is a recruiter. He's living it through experience. So that's why I say everybody's off of 4. You're basically likely to be around 5 or 6. Okay, I'm just going to say that. Now, here's the last one, mastery. And this is truly responding and not reacting. And maybe only the Dalai Lama can do that. These levels are all aspirations, because perfect mastery is not possible. I mean, that's the only person I think that maybe could. But as human beings, we're going to fluctuate. We're complex. All right, so let's see before I tell you how to use this. So let's see where you are, and then I'm going to tell you how to use this and where you are to your advantage in business. It's pretty simple, but I think it'll make sense to you. And when I did this a couple of years ago for the 2350 network, I remember having a pair of red high heels over here and a pair of boots here. And I'll show you why, but in a minute. So let me, and by the way, Geminis and Sagittarius are going to rocket this next year in Leos. So the fire signs, it's the year of the horse and the fire horse. All right, let's see what we have here. Let's see. Okay. Well, doggone it. I know I saw numbers. Oh, hey, Charles. Yes. Let's see here. Give me just 1 second. Think I'm funny, huh? Okay. Well, now I know for sure that I saw Felipe put in a number in here. I must be. Felipe, where are you? All right. So, it's now Happy Boxing Day. Oh, that's great. Okay, so you were going to put in there what number you think you're at. I think, Felipe, what I saw briefly as it slipped by was 6 to 7. So I assume that you would agree that you're all on at least 5 or 6. Okay? Let's assume that because it is true. Now, here's what you do with this information. You're in business. You've determined that you're at a 6. Okay? You're actually doing the work that you've studied for years to do. And as you're doing the work, you're experiencing growth and change. Now you have someone at the office who's down on the lower level. Remember, they don't see any of the other levels. So when a person is in fight or flight in business, they are pretty well shut down to anything, any other possibility. And if you are at a higher level, what you will do intentionally is step down, maintaining your level of awareness to their level. Now, keep in mind, they don't know about your levels, but there's only one thing they want. They want to be heard. They're afraid. They want you to listen to them. So you don't try to fix them. You step down, you say, I understand that things aren't going well. Share with me what's going on. Maybe I can offer something for you. And so they explain. And then you repeat back to them, oh, so I understand that this has happened, this has happened, this has happened, this is, and they'll confirm. Because remember, they want to be heard. Nobody's listening to them. They don't know about the other levels. It can happen on the second level too. Your conversation on the third level could be what pushes them into curiosity. So the idea here is, without losing your level of awareness, bringing your objectivity, you are not sucked into their story. It's rather almost mechanical in the sense that it's objective. So as you're repeating back to them, they might say, no. Well, so-and-so did this. And oh, okay, let me make sure I understand. And then again, you repeat it back to them until they know you got them. That's all anybody wants. Even Maslow says one of the big goals is to belong. And when you're down there starting a new job, or even if there's problems, this is where you in business can take your level of conscious awareness and apply it in an empathetic way without losing anything with someone else so that they can be heard. Now, this is a simple explanation, and I think that you get this. It's a little different with family. Okay, I want to show this real quick. This is pretty cute. Kimberly knows so many things. 5D consciousness is a state that you move in and out of in your time on the physical earth. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm familiar with that is. Yes. The fifth dimension. Yes. I love it. Thank you. Okay. Now, Rosa, you believe that you're on at a 2. Okay. So you're still in that place. Not all the time, right? You're never one of these all the time. You're moving from the low to the higher consciousness. Okay. Thank you, Rosa, for sharing that. All right, now I want to show you a couple other things. Oh my God, it's 10:45 already. Okay, I do want to show you these things really quickly, so hang out with me. All right, gosh. Power of the pause. This is the distinction between, this is the performance gap, knowing and doing. You know something. Fear is here in the gap, so you can't get to the doing. So in this graphic, I've wedged in a very large coin with a thick lip, which temporarily blocks out fear. And when you step up on the top of the coin, you're up into dragonfly thinking. So you're so objective at this point that you'll get more than one idea. Whereas here you were scared before the wedge was put in. the coin. And by the way, if you do slip, there's enough of a lip to catch yourself. Now, this is a little more complex, but let me just show you. I think you'll like this. This is the blending of the two. So notice when you get to the knowing point, you've moved in to the individual. Okay, Rosa says 6. I love that too. For Scorpios, let me think what I heard. My daughter's a Scorpio. Good things, really good things for Scorpio. That's another one. I can't remember exactly what it is though, Jackie. So look at this. It isn't until you get about halfway up from reaction to being objective where you're at that edge there. Now, when you step up on the edge of the coin, look where your head is. You're at mastery. You're at pure objectivity. It's dragonfly thinking. You're aware of any prey, but right now what we have is fear blocked out temporarily. Remember, fear is stronger than faith. So once you're up there, then you step down and into the doing. Okay. Ooh, watch out for the Aries. Are going to be super duper duper successful. For me, Sagittarius, Lisa, it's love. That's right. It's not money. It's not wealth. It's not notoriety. It's new love. And I'm thinking at my age, bring it. Okay, here we go. This is what's going on, you guys, as we move forward. Monday, Sean Michael will be with us. Friday will be the 2nd of January. There's going to be a new time change for my shows from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And if you're planning a weekly or a bi-weekly show, there is a carousel I put out every week that's featured on my profile. I'm happy to put you in and support you that way. And if you decide you want to produce a show over 12 weeks, right, to teach your material, I'll be happy to help you with that. Okay, so Happy New Year, everyone. We're a little bit over. I appreciate your being here so much. And I don't have an outro unless I play. Well, yeah, I do have an outro. I'll go ahead and play the outro as the intro for Monday when Sean Michael joins us. I hope you've loved this, you guys. I have enjoyed doing it. Think about this. What is it going to be? Sagittarius will fall in love. Aries are going to finally become known and wealthy for all the work they've done. Anyway, it's kind of fun. So with that, I will wish you all a happy new year. Thank you again for all your support. I'd love to see you next year on Mondays and Fridays, the bookends, as Kimberly Lechnick calls them, of your personal development, so that you're always growing in conscious awareness of your infinite potential.